Welcome to TEAMV3 episode 4. We're up to 4 now. Today we were lucky enough to pull Team Velocity, so we've got Team Velocity with us, with Unknown and I this morning. Specifically 5 of the 6. So we've got Suaia Matagi, Pauli Pauli, Tinirau Arona, Krisnan Inu, and Fifita. So we're just gonna spin some yarns with the boys, ask them a lot of stuff about footy and gaming and their own experiences as well. So yeah, we'll bring them through. Alright, sup boys?
Are we on?
Yeah, we're on. So we actually, can you guys call out who's here? Who we've got here?
Yeah, Ghost.
Yo. Oh, don't stay Fifita. Go by the code name of Obi, Kenobi, like you know me. No.
Oh.
But
Yeah.
What's up,
Matagi
here?
here. I'll take.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, top two. You're gonna be top two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
top
T.
two then.
Short for Tinirau Arona. And my gaming name is T_4_the man.
Wow. Okay, Krisnan Inu here. Frick, I don't even know my name tag. I think it's Batman 103.
It's monkey, mate. You're monkey. You're monkey.
It'll come up as monkey. Yeah, that's the one.
This guy's got 5 different names, man.
Hey, my name's Suaia Matagi, bottom 2.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Go, Tom.
Suaia Matagi. Going for suicide 10. Reason of that was top 2, and when people go against me, they want to do suicide and kill themselves in the game. Other name, Vision. So, without me, there's no win.
It's the Vision, is it? Okay.
Pauli.
Pauli.
This is our
tag
decoy.
name. NJPS2 underscore.
Oh.
Also known as Ghost. Yep, fireman.
sup boys?
And that's everyone.
Yeah, so big shout out to the boys for joining us today on TEAMV3. They go by the name of Team Velocity. And just want to, what we do here on TEAMV3, mainly starts off with like within the poly community, how they started up and stuff, and like to focus in on the mental awareness as well. But first, before we get into all that stuff, we just want to know, how did you guys come up with Team Velocity?
Obi can answer.
Yeah. If you watch our first Instagram video, that's probably why. Like, we're trying to think of like names, and then this guy just goes, "It's the velocity, blah blah blah." Like he's shooting, like because you can't shoot. No. He was trying to claim that.
Can't say that.
He was trying to claim there was the velocity. So we just went with that. I reckon.
It was what map was it? The vacant. I think it was the vacant. And we were all chasing one guy or something, and I think the bomb was about to go off or something. And I remember I just go, I'll get him. And I just remember cutting him off and then got the sniper out and waited for him, and then I shot it. And then
He missed it.
It looked like a miss, but then that's what I said, mate, it's the velocity.
The kickback, that was it. The kickback was the win.
It's the velocity, mate. The force.
So, and we're running by the name. We're running the Bopper clan, but obviously, Dave's brother Andrew and their crew over there in Sydney. They took it. Yeah. So we've changed ours to VLCTY. Changed our clan name.
Even though we beat them for a day, Dave. No bullets.
Those are fist fights.
We just
humble with a knife.
Yeah.
No,
Nice. And how did the 6 of you get together? Like, obviously there's a bunch of boys that play the game together, but how did the 6 of you become, I guess, part of that?
Well,
T organised a match against Sua, and then when we flogged them, he joined us. No, jeez.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nah, because yeah, that's right. I just remember because I used to love playing hardcore, and these guys played core. So we the crew I was jamming with at the time, we played locally. There's a few boys that played locally in Halifax. And we were called TMP. That's taking their prisoners. And then yeah, I remember that was our first time we played against Dave and T and that. But we were used to hardcore and they used to do koi.
But then Saw wanted to jump ship because his old clan was boring.
No one played up.
Yeah. Fuck, it took me a while too to get used to core.
Me, Dave, and Pauli just play. When did we start playing Siege? A couple of years ago. And then these guys carried on.
So we're big favourites of Rainbow Siege. First ever gun game. Get used to it. And this is the first COD I've ever played. But me and Pauli were big on Siege. And once this one came out, we just got on board with it.
Then Inu just jumped. When did he jump in? Like
3 weeks
just
ago.
randomly.
It's
we're actually Team Velocity when we full named it. Team Velocity.
My missus is away, so I was like, I need to start playing games again. Then these guys told me they're playing COD again, so I was like, I might as well jump on. And then, so I just added myself to it.
Nice.
Quick shout out to Kencio, mate. Velocity in the Ken. He's
+1.
He's jumping on. He's on troll. He's on troll.
Probation.
+1.
Probation. Yeah.
Especially with the lockdown on now. The lockdown's on, so we'll just jam. Don't have to worry about training the next day or waking up early. A couple of these boys will play till 4 a.m. Sua.
Stay loyal, eh? Put the work in.
Surely, I've noticed today I've jumped on like 6 o'clock p.m. our time. Still, the man's still on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Always hungry.
I think the platinum speaks for itself. So I think everyone wants the platinum, but no one wants to put in the work.
Saulo Carlos.
Nah, but I'm going after those the last one. You know, the all camera. Never tried it to. That's the goal of mine. Try and get that. Just played fully well. Stayed up.
For those of you who haven't tuned into over that stream, where the one thing that caught my eye the first time is hearing Sua saying, "Oh, I'm a back in the forward's body. I'm a back in the forward's body."
We like to use rugby, like rugby calls. So Inu's our decoy runner. He'll run the lead, and then we'll clean up the scraps outside.
Bill Tupou, that's good for Bill, because he's Team Impact. He doesn't get on till about 10, 11 o'clock at night.
He comes off the bench. And Matangi's son, Sua's tongue silent. He's another one. Comes off the bench when we need a filler.
He's always 18th man.
They always play split screen. They always play split screen. Yeah.
He's 18th man, but he gets higher scores than most of us.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Depending on the coach when he puts them on, but
No, that's also been stuff. So with the lockdown now, obviously Obi and Pauli, we've seen you guys. If you don't follow their socials, we'll have it up for you up shortly. But you guys did a bit of how would you say, your vlog of what you guys do in the day. How was it? Like
that was a curse. He made me do my hemi.
Oh, was that real?
Nah. Yeah, that was real. Yeah, I did my hemi. Nah, I just thought, I don't know. It's like, I've been trying to get into like all these videos and stuff like that, and just learning new techniques and stuff. And it was just something I wanted to do. So I rang Pauli. I said, "Do you want to try this with me? We'll just go 1 for 1, like try and just go in and out." So because there's no, like you said, there's no rugby league in that going on, and people want to know what we're doing, what we're up to, and stuff. Thought it'd be a good way to try and get out there and show the public like we're just everyday humans, just doing what we do. So give them a little insight to what we do.
Oh, that's real cool.
Pauli?
What's that?
Let it breathe, guys.
Is that the bomb?
Tell it, Davey.
Don't play me, mate.
So on your guys' Team Velocity Instagram as well, there's something that you guys have just come out with. When I first read it as Elo Chats, but I don't know if it was Elo Chats or Elo Chats.
Oh my god.
Which one is it?
Did you just say Elo?
Yeah, he's from the Puri
He's trying to, look at it from all angles, not just, the one I know.
Malo Elo.
Yeah, just come up there like the L chats.
See,
So, yeah.
that's where you got hit. That's where you got hit with the soccer bandit.
It's just us talking shit, you know what I mean? It's just us shit chats. That's all everyone hears. So
Yeah.
L
We
chats.
just took the L. We took the L out of velocity.
Velocity.
That's where it come from.
And who puts those together for you guys?
Me.
Dave.
Dave.
I just,
He's the one with the time.
Oh, nice.
With the time, no one else knows how to do them or wants to try and do them. So.
We all study, but Dave's just got time.
I study as well. I'm currently doing a PT course. Yeah. While my other,
That's why you done your Hemi, eh?
Lockdown. Yeah. Too much.
Your
Too
PT
much
course.
Another course now. Rehab. I'm done at that.
So, like, with the lockdown and the any clashes, any major struggles that you probably weren't expecting?
For me, it's more the trying to stay on top of our training because we haven't been told a date on when we're going to play. And they're saying there's rumors that we could be, when we're back training a week or two later, be playing that weekend.
Whoa.
So we've got to make sure that we're kind of staying on top of our own fitness and try and prevent injuries when we get back playing.
On what T's saying, like it's hard also because like we've been training as a team. We've never experienced like this just on your own type training. So it's a bit tougher on us. So like we're used to like getting through it, and if we can't get through it, or one of us pushing one of the boys, you know what I mean? So probably missing that probably the most.
And it's one thing I've noticed on our chat. I know we've probably joke about it sometimes, but we'll post like what the boys have been doing during the week or during the day for their training. It's a way of like keeping each other accountable, stuff like that.
Yeah, because that'll be a big change, because you have your, like I'd say you have your schedule, so be maybe 1 or 2 training sessions, so you already know, at this time, you have until this time, so until you go training, and then now when you're home by yourself, it's kind of really up to you guys. So it's more that, like you were just saying, like it's up to you guys to put in that work, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Just been put more on ourselves rather than relying on those around us. It's more of an individual, keep yourself honest sort of thing.
Mm.
So it's sort of probably another learning curve. I'm probably the longest serving at the moment, the oldest you could say. But probably this is the first time. This is something new to me to be having pretty much like another preseason in the middle of the year. So it's sort of another experience / I don't know, something to learn from and another challenge pretty much. Yeah, at the moment I think everyone's been doing well, and I think like T was saying, on top of everyone sending each other videos and that, we take the mickey but we still keep each other honest, but at the same time it's sort of like sometimes you might not feel like you're up to it. So, like for training, you're forced to go because you're expected to be there every day. You get paid to do it. It's a full-time gig. But now that we're in lockdown, it's sort of like you can get away with not doing something. But having our group and talking and laughing and joking about it, sometimes you see the boys' videos and you're like, I feel bad now if I don't do anything because the boys just in the videos ran like hills. They're doing stuff with their kids, this and that. So it's sort of another kick up the ass to make you do something.
Sometimes
Carrying
the 5 kg log.
50 kilo logs, but it's really fucking.
One more thing is like now like I'd feel for my wife now because we're over here by ourselves. Like there's no family, there's no friends. Like the only friends we got is these boys. And how she's at home every day doing this. Where at least we've got our mates at training with. now we can't take that for granted when we go back to training and everything. Now for her to see what I know we do try. It's hard. I couldn't do this forever. Now I feel sorry for her. Probably have to go home soon.
And how long have you guys been on lockdown for?
It's meant to end
2
tomorrow.
weeks now.
Yeah,
It's nearly a
3
month,
weeks
isn't it?
tomorrow.
Yeah,
3
I think a
weeks.
month.
3
Yeah.
like that.
3 weeks after tomorrow.
And
it's
during
meant to end tomorrow, but it's going to be extended.
oh, so is it
Actually,
confirmed that
we got
it's being
time a
extended?
week early.
Hey,
I think it's already been extended, isn't it?
yeah, but there's no date yet. I think it comes out
Yeah,
tomorrow.
there's no. They're just gonna extend
The
the
isolation.
fact that it's gonna continue, but yeah, there's no specific date on it yet.
Gotcha.
Oh, geez, should we find out tomorrow?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
And is there anything
I
that you
think-
guys have taken a liking to, apart from gaming and the training that you guys have been doing? Is there anything that you've kind of found that you enjoy while being on lockdown, aside from your kids? Because you should enjoy them already.
Sleeping in.
Probably waking up to having a fresh body. Like, yeah, you do all the hard training and that, but
Mm.
because you're not playing and all that contact stuff, you sort of, I don't know. Oh, well, for myself, I don't know about these boys. Like, you just your body goes through so much stress and all the contact and all that sort of stuff that it does week in, week out, every day. You sort of miss having a fresh body, even though like you get sore from your standard weights, running and that sort of stuff. But it sort of feels good to know that you're going to recover well and you don't have pressure worrying about the next game or the next session, this and that. You just focus pretty much on your own recovery and getting ready for whenever you're going to run again.
Nice, nice.
Well, obviously, I think we just say for those of you who have kids, man, it's actually a pretty full-on job, eh?
Hardo.
Yeah.
I think last year I spent 3 weeks at home doing the whole kiddie run, bro. Man, I had the biggest soke. I was like, bro, when am I going to play the game? Like, when was it? I don't know. Oh, you got to sort it out. And I was like, bro, I almost lost my shit, eh?
I feel you, man. I remember my first day when we first got locked down. I thought I was gonna put the hat on, the teacher hat, try it on, couldn't even last 5 minutes. Bro, that's why I was like, bro, pick up too much, man. Yeah, I was like, nah, you go. I'll be the principal and the PE teacher. You can do. I looked at my 5-year-old's work. I was like, oh, sorry. What's this, man? But a lot has changed from when I was at school. I was like, I'll just stick to my strengths.
Bro, in saying that, so like, I'm not sure about school in the UK, but like, it's changed like the way that they do it here in Australia. The working out, like, have you? Is it the same in the UK? Like, it's not 1+1. You do the working out.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's a different sequence.
Yeah, it's a different level here in the UK. It'll be.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more intense over here.
They're good at what they do over here, but that's why they're like, it's just, I think for my oldest son, was the talking the language. Like, there wasn't no learning A, B's, and C's. Like, they learned the actual sounds, like the phonics of it and stuff like that.
Mm.
Where back home when he was learning the A, B, learn about.
Give us the example, Dave.
Nah, your kids are fluent. Come on, give us the
Of what you mean, mate. What are you on about? They want to know. Let the
How does
listeners
it
know.
go, T? How does it go? So, like, I'll do English, A, B, C. Then you do it in, what's A, B, C in English? T.
It's O, B, and K.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, true.
That's it. Like,
That's
you
how
ask
they
them to spell something, and that's how they spell it. It's like a bit weird. No, it's not weird, but it's pretty. It works out good because they all start reading a lot earlier. They start school over here a lot earlier. It's
that's 2A. My 4-year-old, the same too. He picked it up. That's what I noticed. Because I remember when we were in Australia and we went schooling, my 2 oldest ones didn't really learn how to read until like the stuff they're learning now in the UK, like until 6 or 7. And this guy learned it at 4, and he's sounding all of that. So I was like, he's pretty good. The education is pretty good up there.
Yeah, see, those are the kids I want to see with the accents. Not these. You fly over and these. But like they're living through it, not the fly over to America, in the airport for 2 hours and yeah, from California, you know what I mean? Like,
The weird thing over here, right? The weird thing over here, you could go 20 minutes down the road and there's a whole different accent. Like it's all different. You know what I mean? Like everyone over here, like every suburb's got different like accents.
Yeah,
it's just like they're harder to. Yeah, it's weird, man.
It's when when all the kids are together. So my boys, I got twin boys. They're 10. They play PS during the day, and they'll play with other like Dave's son. He's on GTA. They'll play with Jesse's kids over at Cass, but because they all got the same that English accent. When you listen to them, you wouldn't even think that Aussie kids.
It's like I remember my first time where the crew come home and he said no. I said, "What'd you say?" I had to give a hiding. I said, "What'd you say?" Hey mate, it's just no, that's it. It's just no, mate.
Yeah.
That's it.
My two youngest ones are like that too.
Yeah. My girls are going now. My two youngest girls, they're going there. That's it.
Because you see it on like I think it's UK's Got Talent, and then like they'll tell you what city they're from, and then they sort of suss out the accent or that it's from and stuff. Yeah. So it's a lot.
They know straight away.
Yeah, man, that's pretty cool. Sort of, I think.
Yeah. Oh, it was not when I first come here. To be honest, I struggled, man. I struggled to understand the accent, and a few of the accents, I don't know if Tia that were like that as well. But when I came, just the little stuff, like I remember, I think it was our trainer. He goes, "You alright?" Tapped me on the shoulder. But you know, back home, you're used to like in New Zealand, especially like someone's like stepping you out, like, "Are you alright?"
Yeah.
I thought he was like, but that's how that's the greeting.
That's how they say hello.
Are you alright? I thought he was trying to offer me out here. I was like, oh, I gave him a look and I go, because I just got here too, so I was thinking, oh, this guy's trying to suss me up. Then I realized, and then everyone says it when you go to the shop, like everyone you just walk past, you're alright.
So speaking of the transition for your kids especially, what was the transition like for you guys moving over from Australia and playing over in the Super League? Like, it's obviously a different culture, different type of people in the UK as well. So what was it like for you guys?
If you play in our own, you come here, they just expect so much from you, but they don't like put so much pressure on you. They just
and I found I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
enjoyed the rugby because it's less pressure.
Enjoyed it a lot more.
Yeah.
So, Inu, you're the oldest.
Yeah,
in the pack.
The wisest.
The wisest.
How old are you, Suaia?
No, we're older than Suaia.
What?
Suaia's older. Suaia's older than us.
This guy said he was 29 to me the other day. I knew he was old. I said, "You're old, eh, Pauli?"
Suaia, when's your birthday?
I'm 25.
March.
March what?
23.
And you turned 32 this year?
Yep.
Oh, so yeah, I'm the oldest then by a year.
Oh.
When did
just quickly, Team Velocity, you guys want to add in your other teammate that's in chat? Apeki?
Apeki. Shout out APEC. She knows, she was a witness here. She was Oh, Apeki. Oh, far.
So I see the chum in. I just thought I'd take a little step. Inu, how many caps you got under your sleeve?
Rick, I wouldn't have a clue, bro. Probably not as much as everyone would think, but I've been around long enough. But I just through injuries and probably.
Oh, okay.
Through injuries and.
300.
Maybe.
Professional.
Nah, professional. Yeah, I think I'm over 300. But I think that's counting international games as well.
International.
But I don't. Yeah.
I'm
pretty sure I would be.
Counted.
Yeah, over here they count everything.
Yeah.
Like back home, you count like individual
club.
Count your club games.
Yeah.
your tests, you count them separately, but over here they count like every single game that's professional.
Yeah, your local A grade team.
Yeah, that's the one.
So who was next to come over after you, Inu?
I came originally to rugby. I didn't come
Yeah.
straight to Super League.
Yeah. I read that.
The big money of the French convey.
I don't know why I came back. You know, just miss playing so much. But I don't know. I think at the time, because I was a bit younger than I am now, I think I was more hungry to be playing. Like I felt playing rugby, I felt like I accomplished a goal. I just felt like I couldn't finish my playing career growing up saying that, I wish I tried rugby, wish I had a crack and say whether I could or couldn't. So after I did do it, I was like, man, I feel like I'm not playing enough. Like I feel like I'm offering nothing. So I just wanted to come back to league. Yeah. And then, 1 year back at league, I was like, nah, I should get back to rugby. Eh?
Has anyone else thought of changing over and giving Union a go?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind it.
I was
wouldn't
hoping,
mind
I was hoping,
having a
yeah.
crack. I wouldn't mind having a crack, but I just feel like it's too late now since I'm 31 this year.
Nah. It's not too late,
Too
bro.
late.
Trust me. I'll
But
tell you now,
it's
it's
just
not too
like-
late.
Yeah.
But us, the other four of us, we're all forwards, so it's different.
There's a lot
I
more
reckon it's a different ball
But
game.
that's the thing
Nah.
for people
I
don't
also-
realize it's totally different to league. Like forwards,
Yeah.
you adjust a bit easier than you think you would. Any
back
league
in the
player that
forwards,
goes
yeah.
over there, any league player that goes over there, minus bloody Pauli and Dave, you'd go straight into the center because the forwards that play rugby league, they're all fit and they're nothing like the forwards in rugby. The rugby forwards are like,
I'm
bro,
a
they're
fucking
big
center, don't you worry.
Suaia, your backs in the forward body mentality would be perfect for rugby, bro.
Yeah, I never actually thought about it.
Straight up the guts.
Number 12, Crash Baller. Crash
No way,
Baller.
put me
I like it.
outside center all
12
day.
mix 10. Oh, better impact, better vision at the same time. Was it?
I need a fast winger with me. That's all I need. And then I'm done.
Hey, I reckon you've got that Bastion covered, the Frenchie. Rick, you've got him covered. He's got you covered for weight, bro. He's huge.
Yeah.
The Bastero, bro, he's massive.
So,
Pauli will
so
catch
like,
I believe
I
in
got
you. I
him,
believe
mate.
in you.
Don't worry. Bro.
Yeah, I'm good.
I got him, mate.
so obviously you guys have played NRL and played Super League. Like, what's the difference in physicality in the two games?
Physicality is the same, I reckon.
Yep.
You just get bashed. Oh, being a front row, you're just running the same balls and stuff like that. Especially at the start of the season, if they're going to give a little hint away, something like have the extra protein. They all feel like bricks at the start of the season. Yeah, but yeah, I reckon physicality is the same. Someone else can talk about the other stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't find too much difference coming over. Like,
I reckon over.
I think-
Oh, you go.
I think over the years, obviously there was a difference, but I think the gaps closed a lot because of the training, the science behind everything, and the knowledge, and because so many NRL players are over here now, it's sort of, so many foreign players, so not just NRL, like just foreign players in general, sort of closed that gap in the difference in speed and physicality, all that sort of stuff. So there's not much difference now. I reckon back in the day, you could see a massive difference. Like you still see it with the younger players. They're bred different to how we were brought up. Like the younger boys, the basic skills are way different level to the kids back home. You could easily get like a SG ball under 18s team come over here and probably rock half the 20s or half the championship teams over here. Like we're just built different. Like the people back home just brought up way different. I think it's the same as you compare the soccer over here. They're brought up way different to how people back home are brought up with soccer.
100.
Over here, the games. I feel like the game's more attack based as well. Whereas in NRL,
Yeah.
it's
Hard
a
out.
lot more defense.
Defense, eh?
Wrestling and
Yeah. I think that's one thing we when I come over, I noticed not I wouldn't say lack wrestle, but
less of
NRL
it.
is a lot the NRL
you
is full
can
on
get up and play
wrestle,
the
like,
ball.
you can sometimes get away with it. You're like, oh yeah, sweet.
And
Where you know in the NRL, if you go in the tackle, you know they're gonna try and wrestle you to the ground.
and I feel like when you come over here from NRL as well, you don't feel like you have to play like a robot. You know, you can sort of go and do
More free flow.
what's the word? Yeah, a bit more freedom in your game. Whereas
Let
in
me breathe.
NRL,
Let
it's
me
sort
breathe.
of real, a lot more structured, and you feel like a robot at times.
Man, that's crazy.
It's probably why we like it so much.
I heard it. What would be the yeah, it sounds like it, eh? What would be the highlight of your footy careers so far?
Well,
You can go first.
I don't
Probably,
know. There's too many. Playing international, playing grand finals. I don't know. My first game probably.
Your first game as a paramedic?
As professional, para. I think that's probably one of my best.
That debut was crazy, man.
I think every other game is sort of like. I think you just get used to it. You get the rhythm of it, and you sort of take it for granted. But you always remember your first one, so I think that's probably one of my highlights.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I had the pleasure of being Indigenous, so playing with the big boys. See, for me, playing with. I think that's what.
I think Davey's cut out.
Davey, you keep cutting me out, bro.
You keep cutting out.
Oh, but you gotta come out of spawn, bro. You gotta come out of spawn.
Don't try to join in.
What about all of us just pretending we can hear him, man?
Sad dudes, that's what I go through. Well, this is the end of OB.
That's his
I thought I was
nickname.
the only one who could hear him breaking up.
No, I was piecing your sentence together in my head, Obi.
Oh, see? Indigenous all-star. You're never going to forget your first game, your debut. But even over here, your Super League debut, I think it was a crack-up. I had the worst game. Got sent off for 10, ran out. It was a crack-up. And then next week, when it scored like 2 tries, got better than the match, ain't he?
Yeah, you did actually.
So,
against Leeds.
Yeah, that was massive. Like, coming over here, making your own name and stuff. It's massive what we're doing here. And people say like it's not the strong one, the strongest.
Oh yeah.
We're cutting out, man.
You keep cutting out.
Oh, just cut mine bit out then.
No, leave it, eh?
You sound like the Macca's drive-thru you always go to.
Oh well.
Oh,
Only you'll know, eh?
Oh, man.
One of my highlights when I think about it is when I debuted for Cook Islands when I think I was 15 at the time. I played for Cook Islands at St. Mary's, so I was in front of my own all my family and friends, and being so young, even though it wasn't like how it is now, where all the internationals are full of NRL stars. But just being able to represent your country, or like your culture, your background. I found that, and they've seen the anthem and tears come down your face. That's when you know it's something special.
Yeah.
That'll be the same as me, as T. I had a few highlights, like obviously the debut and stuff, but one that I'll cherish, because as a kid, that's all you sort of dream of, or do the haka, your culture and stuff, and to be able to play for Samoa, that was one of the big highlights for me. It's just something different. It's hard to explain, but
it's more than just rugby. It's like
it's like family. Just I don't know, it's all wrapped in one family, culture, everything.
Playing.
It's more the build up to it as well.
Yeah.
Knowing that you're putting on the jersey for not just for the game, it's for pretty much everyone that's ever watched you, supported you, and obviously the background behind the jersey. I felt my first my tour game, my first tour game I played. I didn't want to take the jersey off after, and having won the game after to make Four Nations. That was like a
Was that against Fiji?
obviously-
Those?
Yeah, that was the one.
I played with you on that one. That was a massive game, man.
Me,
You
you,
played.
Jess.
Yeah. I remember
Who
you
else?
played a
Who else
massive
was here?
part in that victory.
I remember.
I
The only thing I
thought we
remember
always-
was only because
Was that at
I
Penrith?
come back.
Yeah, Penrith played Fiji.
We freaking. I got surgery that week because I just come back from breaking my jaw, and I come into camp with like the fattest cheek. It was bro, I looked like I had a Big Mac in my right side of my face.
Damn.
And then during the week, I just remember telling the coach, I go, yeah, I can play, but on Wednesday I have to have surgery and take I just have to get the stuff taken out of my my jaw, like the plate taken out. I go, I'll still be sweet to play. I already spoke to the surgeon and everything, and he goes, yeah, it's up to you though. It's a risk of getting it infected, blah blah blah. I was just like, oh, stuff it, I don't care. It's my first game for Samoa. Whatever happens, happens. And then I just remember coming back to captain's run, and then that was it. End of story. Like the win made everything worth it.
Yeah, I always remember that game as well, because like I said, like I mentioned before, the highlight. The year before we played in the World Cup, and that was my debut for Samoa, and we went to the quarterfinals, I think, against Fiji, and they beat us. And if we beat them, we would have went to the semis to versus Australia, I think it was. Yeah, so that one really hurt. And then I think a couple of months later, I don't know who organised the game, but then they reckon they set it up with Fiji and tour, and they said whoever wins goes to the Four Nations. So
after
then,
that, that
that's
was
why I
my
remember
first
that
and
game.
only game. That was my first and only game.
That was your debut,
Yeah, and then after that, that's when I came to rugby. I came to rugby like a few weeks after that game.
Yeah. I remember you played a massive part.
Is that the one where Pitta killed it?
Peanut
scored,
he scored
Peanut.
He scored 4 tries.
Pinani, he scored 3.
He carved
up. Pinani, that's what it was. Yeah,
Pinani.
That's
Pinani. What did the boys used to call him? Like I don't know if it was a commentator or something. Pinani.
Yeah. They couldn't say his name properly.
Yeah.
After every try. I had my kicking boots on that night. That's all I remember.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think that's like no disrespectful to anything, but to any the kickers and stuff. But I thought, with the Tour Samoa, that's one place where you sort of struggled, like a kicker sometimes. And I thought any played like I think he got all your kicks over. Yeah, I remember like even just the 40-20 as well.
No, I don't remember.
Well, it was just that. I was just like, and then I think he scored a try as well.
Nah,
I remember you either scored or tried.
No, that was Dave. Freaking Daniel Vito. Nah, I set up.
You done the
Vito.
kick? Yeah, you set him up. Yeah, something.
And then I just can't remember. Everything was just happening for us, and then the way Penani was playing was like he was meant to score all the points, bro. It was sicky. And then at the end we got robbed that last try because Tangatizi wanted to fight. What's his name? Who was it?
Wait. Is it Sims? One of the Sim brothers?
Nah, not Sims. What's the at Para? The tall Fijian boy at Para now.
Kane Evans?
Kane Evans. It was Kane Evans. He tried to fight. And then they stripped that last try off us.
Oh, true. Yeah, because I remember like just a little bit about the game we played in the World Cup. We struggled because I think either Ben Roberts or Pitta got injured and went off, so we struggled. We only played off one half that game, and then we ended up losing. So then when we played Fiji again, like with Chris, one of their halves got injured, and that was a massive letdown for them.
Yeah,
I think.
He got knocked out from I think Dom. Dom had a head clash.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, head clash.
He took him out. Like he was gone in the first half.
Yeah, and then
the little Sanger looking one.
Yeah, because he I think he carved up with, for them the World Cup. So to have him go down, that they only gave our chances.
Is that Dom Peru?
Yeah.
He scored a try as well. He had a good game. Peru.
When you
Peanut.
When you took him from Cook Island.
Yeah, we traded him from the cookies to Tor.
So like, it's like I know you said like it's funny you brought it up with Sam, you know, getting to like you know, little just argument and or whatever you want to call it on the field. Like if obviously, or I'm not sure if you have, but anyone that you've played against in the NRL where you had a little, you know, like you don't have to say who, but you know, you've had a little thing against and you've met them over in the Super League. Is it still take over the same thing, or is it just leave it on the field?
Everything's always left on the field, I reckon. Like,
It's, I think it's different with the Island Boys, eh?
Yeah.
yeah.
I reckon the Island Boys sort of take and give what they get, but I think they only hold a grudge if obviously once someone pushes, like Bloody Tongues always says, like when you poke the bear and you just keep poking, like there's only so many times you can be patient, eh, and just bite your tongue and hold it back. But then sometimes you just push too hard, you're gonna get bit, bro. But most of it, well, I find over here, most of the Island Boys are calm as over here.
Yeah, that term's used on Call of Duty. Just slowly trying to warm up, and then the other team's like, "Oh, okay, take the beer, mate. All right, let's turn it up."
I was just gonna say, I got this. It was years ago. I got this inbox message from this kid, and he looked like a rough-looking Fijian kid, and he goes, "You remember me, bro? You've been a bully at me, bully to me when you were playing for Cook Island. He goes, let's meet up." And I was like, to ignore the message, but I was like, he must have had a bad day that night. It happened like 3 years after, but he must have grew some balls and sent me a message saying he wanted to meet up and have a fight.
They feel like 340 as well.
Yeah, it was 340. He goes, "Oh, you're being a grub on the field. Let's meet up now." I was like, "Hey, this game was like 3-4 years ago."
Something bad, bro. For him to keep it.
Yeah, I was a young kid. I was just being a little grub, you know. You know when you play with older men for your country and you want to try and prove yourself. So I must have been like rubbing some faces in the ground and, you know, just trying to make a
name for yourself.
Yeah, next minute getting offered out 3-4 years later.
Oh no.
You did good.
So, did you give him a hiding?
Just
No comment.
just say, what would Jesus do? Nah, just ignored it. I just ignored it. Left it on the unseen button.
Yeah, fair enough. I've seen on a couple of you guys' Instagrams, you guys mentioned before that you've been doing a lot of training, like, you know, like it's preseason, for example, now that everyone's in lockdown. And it's called ITB. Like, I've heard that term come from you guys a couple of times, eh?
The bank session, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was intense training program.
More for the support boys.
Did you see that?
Did you say intense program?
Yeah. So what is it? So what does it involve?
Nah, it's because me and Pauli play in the same team over here. We play for Salford. Our trainer, he's like proper onto us every day, bro. So he's always sending us stuff. We call it ITB because it's in the bank. We call it in the bank. So it's sort of obviously the sessions you do that no one's there to watch you or to like keep tabs on you, this and that. So that's where that is. It's just in the bank stuff.
Solid. We've also seen, like, you know, with everyone being in lockdown, there's a lot of challenges going around, like the push-up challenge and, you know, your favorite throwback song challenge and all that kind of stuff. But more recently, I've seen a lot of the league boys checking up one for mental awareness. So I just wanted to ask, I guess, how important the mental well-being is for you guys.
Pauli, you can go. You haven't spoken all night, bro.
Nah, chilling. No, mental wellness is very important, especially for players, you know. You know, at this time of quarantine and stuff like that, you know, rugby league has always been our life. So You know, that's why the boys have started up this Team Velocity as well, man. It's, just to get our minds away from, you know, not playing rugby league for a couple of months. But yeah, it's very important, bonus. Just making sure your well-being is good and keeping yourself healthy. That's the main important thing, and you know, trying to spend as much time as you can with your families as well. So, yeah.
I was going to say, I always just think of, you know, other people in the world. You know, I think we're probably one of the more fortunate in the world when it comes to, you know, we know that our jobs will most probably be there, whereas I know a lot of other people probably lost their jobs and probably going to struggle financially because of this whole thing. But that's the way I try and deal with it. You know, try and put myself in, you know, be grateful for what I do have and the life we, you know, the privileges that we more look at all the positive things.
Mm.
Yeah, but I think that's an important one. Well, that's exactly like me as well. That I think that puts everything into perspective. I think it's a massive asset to have perspective, because there's people all around the world, you know, losing jobs, dying. Like you imagine people's family members and stuff like that passing away, and you can't even go to the funeral. So it really puts things into perspective. Be grateful for.
Yeah.
I'm like Pauli as well. I'm massive, you know, passionate about just the mental health. You know, really big. And if you're winning at home, you're winning on the field. I think it's important, not only physically but mentally as well. That it's important to have your, you know, the mind right, and you know, to know that you don't have to do the journey alone.
Mm.
So, like Pauli sharing, you know, just kind of we all joke around and laugh and have a game and stuff, but sometimes this is, you know, a switch off, and you know, there is someone that you know, on the chat that we can just reach out to, and as simple as just texting and how you doing, or you know, what workout you're doing, and just little things like that, just checking up on each other every day. And I think it's just the little things that, you know, end up counting, being the big things and the big changes. So I think that's helped out massively, having this Team Velocity with
Yeah, for sure.
just your mental health and stuff. Yeah, just
being able to speak to someone.
yeah,
Just being able to
100%.
talk.
It's
Better that
massive
your
thing.
thoughts, and you know, if you're struggling with something, just to bring it out. It's better to be brought out and then to be, you know, kept inside and build, like, eventually all that stuff just builds up. So, yeah.
Chris, were you saying something?
Oh, I forgot what I was saying.
No, all good. So that's what we're saying. Part of the tabs up that Bandit had to come up with was so tabs up in the streaming thing is when you're going to keep a tab up with the streamers stream up while you do whatever you want to do. Bandit also wanted to have it similar to tabs up to keep your eye on friends, family, and stuff like that. I think close to home as well. Like I think couple of years ago when some of the young Cowboys players, I'm sure you guys would have heard it, you know, some of them started committing suicide, you know, just due to the pressure and stuff like that. So like gaming is like also good in that stance where it's sort of, you know, it can numb the feeling, you know, it can take you, you know, just enjoy, you know, a good hour or two, however long you have a jam and stuff. So that's kind of what angle that we come across as well, and it's good to hear that, like you know, players and professionals as yourselves, they always making sure that you guys are looking after yourselves and probably been in, you know, in those hard situations at some point in time. So big up to you for that.
It's been massive. That one. Frick, I remember, like, oh man, after games sometimes we had a tough game or something. Sometimes this helps out massively, like just able to switch off and get away from just someone to escape and bring me back down, and then just having, you know, being at home as well, just being at home and then having the chances to see your family and kids around as well. It really brings everything back to the thing that, you know, it's more than just a football. Like there's more to life than the wins and losses. So that's the game's been massive for me because I struggle to sleep as well after the game. So you can imagine all the pressure and you've lost, had a bad loss, the coach, and you've had a bad game, and you just come home and all the pressure builds up, and it can really weigh heavy on you. You can take a heavy turn. For me, this helped as well. Just get away from it all, escape, and then I don't know, the boys.
The last thing you want to do is release it on those that are around you.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah.
You sort of just get that time to yourself to, like, you can. I think for the Island boys, it's easy to laugh everything off because we're used to not talking. But as the times have, like, as you get older and you sort of around the game and around, obviously more mature players and people around you, they're sort of that are in the same boat. You sort of know that you are there in the same boat. Might not be the exact same background, but you sort of grow up with the
understanding,
the same sort of standards and expectations from your family, your friends, the people you try and look after. Because all the island people, all they do is work their bums off, but they work for their loved ones, not so much for themselves. They sort of carry everyone else's burden on top of the burden of having to play a perfect game or rocking up with a smile on your face every day. So sometimes it's good to let your anger out or just blow a bit of steam off on the game. And like, I'm not saying you have to be a saint while you're playing, but sometimes you want to swear or you want to get angry at whoever you're shooting. Like sometimes I know it's a game, like you're shooting, it's a bit of violence, but like it's sort of that let off that you need. Like you have that sense of like just releasing a bit of tension from your hard day, or like Tongues was saying, like your bad game or a long week, bad training, pressures from the coach and the players around you, that sort of stuff. So I think mental health has been a huge part of the game, and it's sort of over the years it's sort of become one of the main strengths that the off-field coaches, trainers, and the staff have been on top of. Like I know at our club it's pretty big now. So one of our players, I would need to mention, like one of our players, he's been struggling for years, and he's finally hit the wall where he can't physically play anymore because he needs the proper help. He needs to get off the field to sort of even catch a ball or perform. So like it plays a big burden on you, and it, like you said, all the pressure builds up, and you sort of there's only so much you can hold until obviously the breaking point where it's gonna come out eventually. So fortunate for him, he's got the support of the club and the players around him to sort of help him get through it.
Bro, that's good to hear. In saying that, like, sort of hit the next question as well. When you guys come through as youngsters, was there any seniors or someone who are a couple of years above you who sort of, took you under their wing as youngsters coming through the NRL scene?
Oh yeah, me, because I'm still young, and then rugby league, rugby league years. Growing up, Fui Momo was always my always one that took me under his wing. You did it for most of the boys, to be fair, most of the young fellas, because he understands the pressure and he understands how it is to be young and coming into a game where it's full of men. So he used to tuck us under our wing and take us everywhere and make sure they were okay. And I don't know if Monkey's played with him a couple of times, so he'll probably know more about Fui than I would. So,
you grew up together?
Nah, I grew up
playing
with
together.
him. Yeah, because I was a bit older. So I don't know. I got too many people that I looked up to. I looked more up to people off field. If we're talking mental health, I think I was fortunate enough. I grew up like most of us, we grew up in the church, and I sort of relied on those sort of people to talk to, or if I wasn't feeling good, talk to those sort of people. But on the field, like training and games and that sort of stuff, under whose wing I got caught under, probably And lucky, I was fortunate enough. It was my idol growing up, and it was Tamana Tahu. So
True.
he was my idol growing up. I was in Newcastle.
Yeah.
Bro, he did it all, and then I was lucky enough to train under him full time for a few years before I made my debut.
I was pretty fortunate. I got to start my career at Sydney Roosters, and that was 2010. I started there, and I sort of just picked pieces of different players, but I seem to I've learned a lot of Lepeni Paya, who was there at the time, and Sam Parrott. And Sam Parrott.
My roomie.
Yeah, so I learned a lot of them, not so much game specific, but more off-field stuff, you know. Both being, you know, I think Sam Parrott, he's a Mormon, and Lepeni Paya, you know, man of faith, and just the, you know, the golden nuggets I got to learn off those guys just through the year or two, with lessons I got to take with me, and I still use to this day.
There's some good ones, those two.
Yeah, bro, crazy. When I look back and I think of some things that they taught, and it was more about, you know, keeping your head straight, and
Life lessons, eh?
Yeah, life lessons.
You sort of feel that the older you get, and you sort of understand, like your standard, like, you know, when your parents say, don't do this, don't do that, you won't understand, you're too young, blah blah blah. You sort of get that sense the older you grow in footy years as well. The advice that the older footy boys give you, you don't realize until you're that person now.
Yeah,
and you sort of,
and it wasn't
that's why
until,
he's told me this, he's told me that. I remember, like, the
it
more
wasn't
advice.
until you tell another player, then you're like, oh, I actually learned that from that player.
Yeah, that's what I do every day, bro. I remember learning a bit from every player I've played with or against. Like Sammy P, like you said. I think I was lucky we grew up same church and that, so I used to see him a lot. And he was always my roommate at Kiwis and that. But I think like Joey Ngalaval and David Kidwell, the biggest I learned from them was like being flexible and this and that. And like I always tell the boys, like me and Hainsey were always the ones to take the piss at training. Like we'd always muck around, do this, kick, run, do this and that. Never stretch, like always mucking around. And like you see Joey Ngalaval and that sitting next to us stretching for like 30 minutes before and after training. They'll be like, oh, come on, boys, make sure you stretch, make sure you stretch. And we're like, oh, nah, we don't need it. We're sweet.
Yeah, that's us now, the way.
Yeah, but then the older I got, I was like realizing the importance of flexibility and how much it helps with injuries and that. It's like made a big difference. And I that's probably my number one tip I give to all the younger boys now. I'm like, if there's one thing I'm going to tell you is to get on top of now while you're young is stretch, bro. Like the more flexible you are, the more likely the longer your career will be without injury. And it's sort of like, like you said, you pick bits and pieces of certain players and it just sticks to you. You don't realize until you try and tell somebody else, and then you click and like, oh, that's what I learned from blah blah blah, so and so. Sort of a bit of an eye opener every time you try and pass on advice.
I remember this one thing Sammy Parrott told me. It was we were struggling at the time at Roosters, and we're in the car, and he just said, he goes, there's one thing that has helped me last so long in my career, and I'll pass it. And then he goes, always remember the coach is right. And then I had to think about it for a bit, and then he said, do you know what I mean? I go, no, not really. He goes, well, you can believe, you can believe whatever you want, but at the end of the day, the coach is right. So you have to show, don't talk back, don't, show that you understand that he's right. But then when you go home, if you don't agree, then take it home and then deal with it yourself. But don't show it don't talk back or argue to the coach. And then it's something that I sort of keep, like whenever I see high-tempered kids or players that want to talk back to the staff, and I always say, look, I know we might disagree, but at the end of the day, he's right. He's the one who picks the team. Just gonna have to bite your tongue, and we'll deal with it later. and it makes sense as you go on.
Yeah,
You know, it makes sense as you get older, and you're like, you just sort of have to agree. Don't always have to believe in what they say, or you know, you just try not to talk back, or it's more a discipline thing.
no doubt.
Big on what Inu touched on as well, Inu. I think what you do at home behind closed doors shows on the field. Seeing the little stuff like the stretching and stuff. So any inspiring athletes, or I think it relates to any sort of job or thing dreams you want to achieve in life, is everything you do at home, the preparation stuff, the little stretches you don't want to do. It all plays, you know, soon it's going to show on the field, and you have a long career. It's a big one.
Nice. No, that's it's real interesting to hear from professional athletes. Obviously, we don't have these conversations with professional athletes daily, so it's good to hear your perspective on, I guess, the kinds of things that help you guys out. When you think about the pressure that the athletes get, sometimes, you know, regional pressure, national pressure as well, and then you've also got your family that, you know, at most times for you guys are relying on you. And, you know, also to kind of talk about how important it is to have perspective, to be able to lean on others, you know, have someone that's like, say, a mentor for instance, you know, that kind of stuff, and kind of highlighting that it's not weak to kind of lean on other people as well. It's real awesome that it's something that's, you know, universally shared. It's not just something, you know, that people talk about that happens. So awesome. Thanks. Appreciate it heaps for you guys sharing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think one thing that's important in life is you, like what T and Chris, the boys have mentioned, is having anchors in your life. Like whether it's guys you look up to on the field or off the field. That's someone that's something that held strong as well. Also looked up to people off the field with values that I sort of believe myself, and just men with integrity, men of faith, and that played a massive part in just having anchors there. Like what I mean by anchors is guys that you can know when you're down or when you need someone to lean on, that you could reach out to them and then you can just unload whatever the pressure, whatever it's going through, you know, guys that you trust. And that was absolutely important for me with the pressures or stuff that I dealt with. So I think it's important, like, to have those kind of guys lined up. Not just one, because sometimes that one might be busy. So it's important, you know, that you do have a few guys lined up. But if that guy's busy or he's with family, you know, because it's important to know that the journey, you don't have to do it alone, and that you're not alone, that there is always a brother out there that's, you know, there to help. And I learned that lesson years ago, man. I thought, I was too scared to ask for help. I was too ashamed, really, you know, being culture Samoan, you know, like, I don't know if you say, but it's not a normal thing to sort of, or like, like a manly thing, you know, like. So that I struggled for years doing that. So I realized
that was sorry.
No, you took that. That was pretty much me.
I was just saying, I learned that was a lot. That's a lot to do with our culture, the way we're brought up. You know, that old saying, you know, what are you crying about? Or do you want me to give you something to cry about? You know, when your kids are like just having a little cry, but you're sort of they're sort of telling us to hide our emotions, you know, hold them in. You know, what more like, do you want me to give you something to cry about? So you're telling that kid, don't speak about his emotions. And as we get older, that's, you know, we're taught, you know, we need to hide our emotions. We can't, you know, we can't speak about them. We can't bring them out. So eventually, when you hide that many emotions, you know, it's going to build. And then people find, you know, ways to self-medicate, whether that be through alcohol, through drugs, through, you know, partying, gambling, list goes on. But yeah, I just think it's important to to share those and like let them come out of your body. Let them, you know, speak your emotions. That way, you've made them. You're aware of them. You've recognized them. They're out there, and then you build on them. Yeah.
Today.
Yeah, well, I appreciate opening up about just some of the, a lot of the stuff that you guys have picked up over the years and stuff like that. Awesome to hear. Just a couple of little fast questions that we're going to go through. Who's the best player, in your opinion, that you've played against? Oh, sorry, played with. Sorry,
Played with.
just in your opinion.
Fuck, there's too many, man.
Hard, man.
I've got. See, are we talking about the best player we played with at their prime or while they were playing?
I'd say like even if they're in their prime or not, they'll still hold that aura about them. So I don't know, just saying it's probably maybe a player that you've looked up to. You know that you.
If we're talking about consistency, I'll probably say Tim Manor. Tim Manor, because he does a lot of work, man. He's a workhorse. He just does his job easy. Probably Tim Manor.
The mailman.
Yeah.
Always delivers, eh?
Yeah, hard.
You would have played with some. You would have played with some good players, man.
The list goes on, man. Me.
Yeah.
See, like I played with Willie Mason, Buddy Hainsey, Barber, Johnson.
Yeah.
Name them all. There's too many to pick from one. And then if you say against stuff, I played
Nearly all of them.
Yeah. So like even Hindmarsh. So if I was to name a forward and a back, even that still has to be.
So what player probably
without being biased
influenced you the most?
See, that's the thing. Like for influence, like even that, like I would say, Tamana was up there because obviously he was my idol because I grew up loving him, playing the same position, and I was lucky enough to debut, play a few handful games on his wing. So, no man. See, playing wise, the prime probably Hainsey. That's without being biased.
Yeah.
Because like when he was on, and sort of obviously the world got to see the best of him. So I was lucky enough. But see, for someone who grew up with him, it's sort of, I don't know if it's taking it for granted, but there's like no surprise for me. For the world to see what he does. I got to see it every day growing up, like playing in the backyard, that sort of stuff. So it was nothing for me. So when people brag on about it, I was like, bro, I'm better than Hainsey. He's just slower. I'm just slower. So I was like, man, you know all the stuff he knows. You know who he got it from. But it was just, so I don't know. But for the forwards, I've played with the best forwards in the world, man. Like that list goes on. Like I played with Ruben Wiki even. So but I think Mr. Consistent for me, like Tim Manor, I think mine would be Hindy because like he would always turn up.
100%.
Right, him like there was no other forward like him. Like he probably didn't make the money he does, but when if you needed to count on a player that you would always rely on, it would be him. So he would always be. He wasn't always the nicest or kindest to us growing up. He was one of those, those senior players who try and put it on you just to scare you. He would still try and put it on me like 3 years into first grade. I played with you for 3 years, man. Why are you trying to still put it on me? Like, just relax.
I think Hindy will go down as the best forwards to never win a title there. Hindy
to never win one.
Yeah, hard out. Yeah, I feel sorry for him, bro. We should have won that 09 one.
Yeah, the 09. I wish.
Sorry, boss.
Is that against Melbourne?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they got
their points taken off there. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think it was the same as what you said, Tongues, you know, the whole Fiji thing. Like, we lost in the grand final and we played them the year after. And then after the title got stripped off and we played them at home, fans were bagging it like, that should have been ours. Like, we should have got the rings, this and that. Like,
yeah.
And then we played them at home and we beat them then too. So it was just like it was just sort of like that sense of relief. Like, yes, we got one on you to prove to everyone that you can't beat us when you guys are cheating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was just going to say, I like to say that I played with Sonny Bill 2013.
Yeah, see, even him.
Yeah, just have that aura that he has, you know, is when he walks in the room, it's like an NBA player, you know, people are like, but knowing it, you know, when you get to know him personally, it's more, you know, it's just
more to him than
more
rugby.
an athlete. Yeah, a lot more to him than just rugby.
Like hearing stories of him from the other rugby players, you know, like it's awesome hearing it because like you said it as well. You know, he has that, you know. But at the end of the day, like when you grow up as a kid, like you're the island kid, you know, you start off, you know, playing rugby with your cousins, your family, and stuff like that. You know, you sort of build yourself into this character, you know, like such as yourselves, and like, you know, it's pretty cool because, you know, it doesn't matter where you start, you know, as long as pretty much where you finish is in the right place.
Yeah. It's crack up because that run where Sam Burgess runs over him off that dropout.
Yeah.
I'm just to the right of him, and Sam Burgess runs, and I'm like, sort of running. I'm like, I think I was probably mid-20s, and I was like, fuck. And I was a bit smaller then too. But if I'm thinking now, you know, being 30 something, I'm like, I wish I could just, you know, step in front, try and put a shot on him. But
go back to that one moment, eh?
Just at least have a crack. I sort of like stood one step behind Sonny, so when Sammy came, went straight over the top, and I just jumped on his legs, and I'm like, oh, sorry, yours.
You're on your head.
It's crack up because when the video comes up, you only see like Sam and Sonny, but
so Sonny in the beginning, like a
but
step
all
behind.
My boys, all my boys see me, and they just, you know, record the clip, send it to me, go, you little cat, look at you. Like, my bad.
So in saying that, is there anyone that like, you know, when you're playing, you're like, because I think Nangilo Mape said it on one of Adi Severe's other podcasts, and he's saying he was telling Shawnee, yeah, give me the ball. And then on one of his first runs, bro, he looks up and sees Steve Maddie, and he goes, oh yeah, no, send it out wide. I was cracking up. Hey, have you guys had any of those moments where you just like, or is someone that you're like, yeah, no, I'm not running at him? I don't know about you, because bro, it doesn't look like you're scared of anyone, Zolly.
No. Oh fuck, I don't know, man. Growing up, I didn't. I don't know. I think I was too calm and relaxed to worry about anyone else other than myself on the field. I just sort of more focused on if I play good, sweet. If I get smashed, sweet. I think it was a tip that I heard Trevor Liotta say years ago, and it sort of stuck with me. He sort of said, when you grow up, once you realize, when you have no care for your body, that's when you're going to become a good football player. Like you sort of just give your body everything, like throw your body out there. You get smashed. If you get up, sweet, you know you can do it again. Brett Hodgson said it to me when I was like, I hadn't even debuted yet. He was a fullback at the club at Para, and he sort of he goes, man, I'm 80-something kilos. If I can run straight at so-and-so and get smashed, if I can get up and run again, you can do the same thing. So that sort of stuck with me growing up, and just pretty much, that I lived by that. I lived by that after that. So, like, but it's a bit different now because obviously people like, there's cameras, there's Instagram, there's all this, there's highlight packages. So people worry more about that than like
in the game.
Bro, you got to get smashed before you're a highlight. So if you're going to be running and thinking about a highlight package, well, get off the field, man. Like, just play.
Yeah.
If you get smashed, you get smashed. All goods. Give your mate something to laugh about, but in the end, bro, all goods.
And there's better island thing, because my memory as well. My old man.
You don't get married.
Yeah, or it's either that or you face the lecture when you get home. But like,
Balai.
And then, that's one thing my dad and uncle used to always say, Balai, I'll quick on.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, so that,
True,
that's all that.
true.
Oh.
That was the ultimate one, eh?
Yeah. Get in the, back in my days. But all the time, even when I,
Get that island massage.
heaps of love too, yeah. Heaps of,
Get the soli.
Get the island massage, get home.
Bro, that
Yeah.
was like when that Run It Straight challenge came out. I was like, man, us Islanders have been doing that for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. When I seen all those runners straight, like people always talk about it. I picked three of my best, and it's funny enough, Suaia, you're one of them. It's you, Fui, and Feka, Paliasina. Okay, bro, if I was to have 3 players in my team to run like that, those are the 3 I'm picking. Yeah, because remember, I played with like people that know, like I played with Suaia, James Gavitt, and Manu Mau, like at the Vulcans at Warriors, and people were like, "Wow, what about these guys? They're so good, this and that." And I go, "Bro, I played with these guys before they even play first grade." And they're like, "Liar," and I go, "No, I swear, at the Vulcans in New Zealand." But we play with these guys only at home because they weren't allowed to play in Australia. They weren't allowed to leave the country, so it's only home games you can see them.
No, that was me, but I didn't really get the chance to say it, but it was a childhood like a dream. It was a dream playing alongside you. I just held it inside it, but yeah, I realized that's what you had about you, Eddie. When we played that game, we played against you. That was your last game against the Bulldogs. I was like, that was mean, man. Like, I think it was Mount Smart, or we might have played against Mount Smart before you left. Not Mount Smart, yeah. North Shore.
Yeah, that's when I went to Bulldogs.
Yeah, because that was like one game, all the time, like, when we played our home games.
Oh, yeah.
For me, it was just like, bro, because we used the whole full-timers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, I was just grateful. I was like, bro, I didn't care. We just played home games. And I'm just, like, grateful I get to play with, like, NRL guys. So, like, yeah. That was like, bro, it was me and us.
It was a sicky team made, like.
Yeah,
I still even remember, like, after every game we win, our team song was that Snoop Dogg song.
Yeah.
James
we had a good team.
It was the funniest team song ever. I was like waiting for like my first game, play with the Vulcans, and like you win a game, and you got your team song to sing this and that. At the Vulcans, it was like Snoop Dogg, all this rap and stuff. I was like, I was like, mean team song.
Only ever hear easily.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't mind playing Vulcans every week if it's like this. Like I started playing footy again, like more fun.
I think that's what allows you to do it. Like playing in like or like
Super League.
Yeah. Or bit of everything. Like it just when you have fun and like the pressure's off a bit, you get to enjoy it more.
Yeah. Pull your hair out and just go for it.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about it, bro. You've been everywhere.
Yeah, bro. I played 3 NRL clubs and 2 Super League clubs. 3 because Witness went under.
Oh, that's right, yeah, dude. How many grand finals again? 5.
5.
Ooh.
3, 4 league, and 1 rugby one.
Yeah.
And you didn't win one? Did you?
I didn't win 1 league one. Won 1 rugby one. We won the rugby grand final that year. I went because I only went for that 1 year, and then I went straight back to Super League. But I've got you'll probably need a podcast for all the stories I've had growing up, man. Like,
Wants to get you by yourself, Krisnan.
Too many stories in my career, man. Like funny, enjoyable, like stories you like just crack up ones. Like so, I'll try and make it as short as I can. But this one, like. Rugby grand final, we win the game. We go back to like our owners, like cashed up money, like top 5 richest European dudes in the world. We go to this club. It's called VIP. we rock up and like pink balloons, pink stickers, everything all there. And then downstairs, so it's like a 2-level club. Downstairs was like all blocked off. So we're expecting like, oh yeah, surely that's for us. We can't wait to go down there. Looks mad, the setup and everything. And then the owners and of the club are like, nah, that's not for you. It's for someone else. We're like, what? Yeah, bro. Like everything's pink. Surely it's for us. Who else is gonna? Like the whole club was decked out for us. Anyways, 2 hours into the party and celebrations, this and that, we just see like a big crowd walking into the club. Tall ass dude, about 10 security guards, and like all these girls following, and entourage. Like, who the hell's this? And then, bro, walks up to the DJ, sits right at the front. Look, we all like zoom in with our cameras and look close. It was freaking Michael Jordan, bro. Michael Jordan was like literally 2 meters from us, just sitting there smoking his cigars and just partying it up. We're like, what? That was like another highlight on top of winning the grand final. We're just like, yeah, Michael Jordan's here at the club with us, bro. It was hectic. It was funny as.
Did you get to go say hello?
Nah, the security guards wouldn't let us go near him.
Because he's half Samoan too, eh?
That's what I heard, Sully.
Mikaele Jordan.
Mikaele Jordani.
Oh gosh.
Related to you, eh, Suaia?
Hey?
He's related to you, eh?
Yeah.
Same village.
Mikaele and Mikaele.
What would you say would be next for you guys in your footy career? Like next steps, maybe like, you know, have you started thinking about what you want to do after you hang up your
Yeah,
boots?
I'm a bus driver.
Hey,
Nah. I keep telling my missus, I said I want to work in a 24-hour petrol station.
Indian, so it should be right.
Nah, I don't know. For myself, probably get involved with the Indigenous kids back home, maybe. We're doing this prison work now over here. Me, Sua done it last year with us. But we've now working with youth over here in the juvenile, but we can't do it at the moment with all the stuff going on. But like just teaching them the rights and wrongs and that. And lessons we learned, stuff like that. People come and talk to us and that. But Sewell had a good one. He led one last year. It was good, man. Just listening to him, how he locked up and stuff like that. And learned his lessons and look where he's now and stuff like that. So,
it was a good experience, eh? It was good. I thought it was good. We went there. It's always,
is that what you want to do after times?
Yeah, like in a way, like, but for me, I've always found it hard to really pinpoint on something you want to do, because it's hard to say you're going to do this in the future and you can't really, control the future in a way, if that makes sense. So
yeah, for sure.
it was like, I think, or what I've learned like through the years and growing up is like, when you just continue to do things, like when you're giving, when you're always willing to help and give back, the opportunities open itself. So if I was to say I want to do this, like public speaking, I can aim towards that, but then an opportunity like totally opposite from it opens up. So it's like, I think for me it's just keep doing what makes me happy, what I'm passionate about, which is giving back, inspiring, giving people hope, and things along that line, and will probably look after itself, I guess. Yeah, it's really hard, eh? But it's like, stuff like the prison work we done. You came, matey, or maybe Pussy. Oh yeah,
Pauli,
it was me, Pauli. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just stuff like that, and the experience you get. Yeah, I think the feeling as well. You get back from just giving. It's powerful, because when you give, I think that in self levels you up, and sometimes the human thing is to keep that experience or whatever it is to yourself. But I always thought it's no use keeping all that thing within yourself and then die with it. So I always believe is to give back, and everything else, opportunities and stuff like that opens up for itself. So always, that's what I like. The stuff like with the prison and stuff. It's giving these guys a bit of hope and letting them know that regardless of how dark the path you've walked, it's never too late to change or to live your dreams. That's why it was cool when we went with Dave and Pauli, that to actually let them know that we all have a story, and just sometimes it's just the choices and stuff that comes down to who you hang out with. But it's one big key message that we told the youth is, because that's one of the hard parts, is like, or one of the messages that I found is that it's hard to your mates, it's hard to get rid of them. How do you get rid of them? Or because when I do get released, if I get back to my mates, I'm just going to go back down the same sort of dead end. So for me, it was just sharing. You don't really have to cut them off, but just talking from my experience and what I learned is probably change the time, the setting of what, like, instead of catching up at night where you can get up to mischief, why not catch up in the morning for coffee or something, and that way you can talk life and how you can better each other. I think that plays a massive part in that was for me, because I was like, man, I'm going to find it hard to just cut off your mates, because that's probably the first thing they're going to think is, oh, what a change this guy. They don't want to hang out with us anymore. So it's not really cutting them off. It's just maybe learning from your lesson of those that are mates that got you, they got you in the first place. Then you obviously got to take that into consideration, and then instead of meeting up at night where you can easily get influenced and let's have a drink or whatever it is, you can actually catch up and do real life stuff, just talk life and unload or whatever it is, and inspire each other.
Oh, nice.
So that's,
what are you planning to do after
me? Honest, I want to get into coaching.
True.
Man, that's good.
I feel like I learned heaps. Like I heard who was it? I think it was Rennie Matua. He was on the Ice Project with Isaac, talking to Isaac John, and he was saying, he's got a degree in rugby league, and I think that goes for most of us. We spend how many years in this game, and if you think about it, we're at an elite level, and we know this game inside out, some of us. So the way I think about it, I'm passionate about the game. I love the game. I love teaching the younger players in our team the game. Why not look into coaching and go down that avenue, and hopefully it opens more doors, whether it be just be involved in the game. There's heaps of different areas you can pursue, but that's what I'm looking into.
Awesome.
that's me.
What about you, Inu?
Me, at the moment, I'm trying to. Most of these now, I've been practicing my tattooing, so I've been doing that at the moment.
Oh well.
I've just got to do the assistant for it. I've got my own gun now. When freaking, I don't know if you guys probably wouldn't have even seen it. Like when isolation started, I was that bored, bro. It was like only 2 days in, and I was like, oh, everyone's trying to encourage us to stay online, stay busy, and like, how they were trying to encourage all the players to like keep social on social media platforms, this and that, and sort of show everyone that you're everyday people. So I jumped on Instagram Live and I started telling people, I'm just bored at home, thought I'd tattoo myself. So I put a tattoo on my ankle.
Did you?
on Instagram Live, I tattooed my own ankle, and I was just saying, this is the first time I've actually tattooed on a person. So I was like, I might as well do it on myself before I try and do it on other people. So I was like, why not?
Was it
so at the moment, I'm waiting to do that sort of course, and then hopefully after footy lean into that. But I was thinking of the same as you, T, like a bit of coaching, whether it's not to be like a full head coach or something, but just sort of like you and Tongues were saying, like passing on that knowledge that you learn. You can't die with it. Not going to take it with you, but sort of it comes natural to us already. Like trying to, like you said, helping younger players and helping players around us sort of gain a bit better knowledge in how we see the game or how things we've learned from other players, like we were saying of Semi P and those senior players we grew up with. I feel like having a so-called degree of rugby league sort of does make sense that we sort of stay in that sort of loop of it. And I like, for me, when I was younger, I thought, before even playing professional league, I thought I was going to be a teacher growing up. So that sort of falls into line of being some sort of coaching staff or coach or trainer, that sort of stuff. So I don't know. For me, I'm pretty much focusing more on league, but I'm sort of at the older end of the scales to you guys. So it's sort of a bit more. The doors are a bit closer for me than it is for you guys. Touch wood, it stays that way because you guys are killing it and stay healthy. But for me, it's a bit more I can do now to prepare for life after footy. And obviously, you can only do so much with your body. And I've been fortunate enough. I've had like 2 major injuries. So I'm counting my blessings every day and just continue to just do my best where I can.
Awesome. Nice.
You would have learned heaps being at it, a few clubs.
100%. Like every team you go to, you want to learn more about your teammates and sort of pick up on different senior players.
Also,
like you're saying, like
to learn what works.
You sort of
pick
and choose what works with you, what you agree with, what you don't agree with, and like you're saying, do you hold grudges?
Styles.
Yeah, hard out. So like people are like, oh, who's your favorite coach? This and that.
Yeah.
Des Hasler would be my number one.
I think that's the blessing of being able to go to a few clubs, because like being able to pick and choose, or like learn this from this coach or this player, and then just just mashing it all up together, or just hearing what you're talking.
Yeah, like what you're saying with holding grudges with other players and that. Like I sort of never thought I'd probably, like most of you, everyone's probably played Mick Innes at some point in their career.
Yeah, played with.
Yeah,
and you just want to rip his head off, and you want to kill him. But I can honestly
the captain's run man.
He knows how to get under your skin and really good at it. But he's one story about that guy. I was one of those guys, like going towards Bulldogs. I was like, man, I gotta go play with Mick Innes. I go, and then like when I finally got there and got to know him, bro, didn't take me longer than 2 days, and realizing what type of person he was. The total opposite to what he is on the field, man. Like, proper family man, like any other island boy, like chilled as, but proper well spoken. Obviously, like he's TV presenter now, knows how to talk in front of a camera, this and that. But the type of person he is, bro, you would never think it the way he is on the field.
I'll never forget his first year at Sharks.
Oh yeah.
Never forget his first year at Sharks when he come there. Captain's run, how he makes everyone pumped, ready for like game. It's like about to run on the field, and you're like,
exactly.
What are you doing this to us now? You think, nah, I do all my things. Like I will talk, but like not this much. Like he talks like far. Just captain's run. You're ready to take the field and play.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go. You're running out to play, but it's captain's run.
And the coach repeats what he says, The coach just repeats what he says.
Yeah, he's one of those people that like the coach wouldn't have to say anything. Like he pretty much did all the talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, just while it's fresh, I remember my memory on him was my first year coming through, and I wasn't really mature or knew how to control the emotions. Or, that level was my first year professional. He was a player that got under my skin. Like when he tackled me, wrestled me, and he whispered in my ear, and he goes, "That's all you got." And then I looked at him, bro, what did you say? And for me, I took that down to half game, bro. You better watch it, man. I was chasing the ball the game, man. I was waiting for him to do something. When I think of it now, I'm laughing, but I was like, honestly, I was getting ready to hook him, mate. And then, like, honestly, serious, that's what I was thinking. I was like, bro, give me a chance, and I would have jabbed him. And then after the game, over the years, you get to realize, man, that's what I learned. There's the biggest guys, or because you watch it all the time and you think of all these players, and then you think, oh, this guy must be a grub, But like the boys are saying, like totally the opposite, and that's how I sort of felt with Hargraves as well. Until I went to the Roosters, like you just watch it and see how he's aggressive and gets into people.
People always want to
when
fight.
you meet him.
The ones, yeah.
Yeah, when you meet them, they're totally opposite. Like how you said, with Innes, Family Man, this is like Hargraves and all the other guys that you
That
think
was like
they're the grubs.
That was like you two. Like growing up playing against you so many years and not knowing you. I used to hate playing you sometimes because I used to be like, this guy, man, always gets like your head under my chin, this and that. And I used to like, not dread it, but like I used to be like, man, this guy always gets one dirty shot on me or does something to get under my skin. Not where I like it would hurt me or anything, but just
annoying.
I think
it sort of just bothered me during the game, and I'd always be wary of where you are on the field. You're one of those players I'd always be like looking for where you're going to be.
I think that's more a Penrith Parramatta thing, eh?
Yeah, just.
I know. I was just saying. I reckon a lot of that is where you're like. So for me, I started at Penrith, and that's how.
Yeah.
Obviously, Penrith Para, we had those grud matches,
No doubt.
and Para was the whole pretty. We always looked at you as the pretty boys, and Penrith being we're the grubs. We're going to be the grubs, and that's how we're going to play like the grubs. And also being under Masada Yusufa's wing, it's like probably one of the worst guys you want to.
Masada.
Masada.
So that was my guy when we were growing up.
Because you're playing with the Balkans, and he was another guy. Yeah, he was another guy. So.
He's an OG grub. That guy, bro.
Yeah. I didn't know it until the stories, but got to play with him with Samoa.
I had him and Joe Romello. So those two together.
The two worst grubs ever.
The two worst.
Bro, I actually played juniors with him, bro.
Who?
Roms?
No, Joe Romello.
Yeah, Romello.
Yeah.
I played with Roms.
Ruthless ass, that kid.
He's a bit of a loose cannon.
Yeah.
Loose,
well, him and
please.
Masada are the same, man.
He's the worst of them all.
Bro, isn't he in lockup now?
He what, sorry?
Yeah,
I think he's in lockup, eh? Yeah.
No, I think he was. I don't know if he is now. I think he's got a new missus and that.
Who's that? Masada.
No, Joel Romello.
Oh yeah.
He was like in the bush, hey. He was like Northern Territory or something.
Yeah, from up in Darwin.
Yeah, he went. Yeah, that's right. Darwin. Yeah.
Oh man, he was a character.
Bro, he's a crack up, bro.
Awesome, boys. Pauli, I wanted to hear from you. I know you're still young. We're same age, 21. But have you thought about what might come after footy as well?
No, not there. Not at this time.
English.
I'm still doing that course
Subtitles.
with Devi and Sui. Still doing that course with Devi and Sui, but whatever God blesses me with in the future, and I'll just take it with both hands. But at the moment, I'm just going to try to stick with that youth stuff and see what I can do with them prison kids and stuff like that. But yeah, as I said before, I trust in what God's going to give me in the near future. As Sui said before, you want to do something else every time, so it's always going to change.
That's it.
5-10 years down the line, I might be wanting to do PT, which I doubt very much. Or I want to do something else. 5-10 years down the road, I might want to do something else.
Pauli,
Yoza.
didn't you do some security work at Wakefield?
Security. Yeah, man. Sheki. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that, mate.
Pauli used to go to the nightclubs and do security.
Oh,
Done nice.
part time.
He never got
Part-time,
paid
part-time.
for it. He just did it himself.
Oh, volunteer workers.
I'll just help it. That's
Free
life.
beer, free beer, free beer.
Yeah, hard.
Just quickly, lads. Big shout out to Big Bully Beef user. He's just jumped on Twitch. We were supposed to play their crew tonight. Team Velocity.
Oh,
Apologies, we've set it up for another night. Just jumped on Twitch. So just warn you, brother. Maybe when we get it on. But the squad, DSQ, Tricky Squad. Oh, don't worry, you're gonna hear about Team Velocity soon. We'll let you know how it goes. But that was the squad we were supposed to play tonight.
Gotcha.
Server was playing up as well, so shout out to him. He jumped on streaming. Sorry to interrupt.
No. Deal fingers.
He's gonna cut that.
Pauli, was it Pauli? Doing bouncing
Be a bus driver. Come back to the factory work.
right at the
Most of us all great. Bus, yes.
Back to self-made security.
hard. Entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.
Oh, spell it then.
Spell it.
Oh, here we go.
Entrepreneur. Make sure you put the translation. Subtitles.
Subtitles down the bottom.
Oh,
Yeah, so what language was that, Sally?
Big Bully Beef, you don't want the Smoke Brothers. Is that the guy you were talking about before?
Who's that?
Big Bully Beef?
Big Bully. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did he
True.
comment?
Yeah, you don't want the Smoke Brothers. Love hearts.
Ooh. Gonna know about the vision soon.
About the Moikolo eyes, eh?
What's that?
How will you?
You know, but that valu like a bee, apple.
For Pauli, out of all the people, I thought Pauli would have known it.
Valu kapi. I might use that on my old man there. I might tell it on my dad. See what he says.
You would have known about that, Pauli. Come on, it's a rookie era there, man.
Rookie. Still a rookie on them jokes.
Heard there's ones in primary school. There's a few ones out there. Eh?
Oh, yeah.
No, those just what everyone used to share.
You guys are vested in the Bullies team, is that right?
Yeah. We
were supposed to schedule it tonight, but I think the server was playing up, so we'll reschedule it for another night.
Yeah, because we're in talks with the Papa boys.
No, we've been there, done that. Let us know. We'll think of a few things you want.
Yeah. We'll give you some tips, mate. They don't like knives.
Yeah, we're just having some inside trouble. Hey, Bandit.
Why, what's going on? Talk to us.
Oh, fuck. Our team's useless, man.
Oh, whoa. I wasn't meaning that. That unknown guy's useless. The rest of the team's alright. See, look, the boys are blowing up in chat now.
Oh,
No, it's good fun. Eh? It's similar to you boys. For us, you know, we're together because of the banter, and you know, we just enjoy playing the game. It's what we do now break times and stuff like that. But it's been interesting to kind of have conversations with you know, we had Fale on the other week from Bopper Gaming, and Bob jumped in as well. And then now we got you guys, so it's pretty crack up, eh? You know, we're all in different places, but we share the same kind of banter and the way that we talk to each other and things like that. It's all love, but it's pretty funny as well. So no, yeah, it's been a real cool way.
Yeah, this is the only good thing with this stream is like you jump into anyone's and just start giving it to him. You probably can't back it up on the game, but you still give it to him. It takes the funny side of it.
That's it.
So it's all sweet. You talk a big game and then you get to the heat, you're like, all right, you got me.
Lagging.
I think that's it's like Ragnar now. I watched him sniping and snipe all right. And I always give it to him whenever I verse him. Come on, then. do something. Every single time he jumps on, he always wants to chat shit and that. That's just what we do. It's crack up.
Oh, yeah. What would you say is next for you guys? Obviously, you guys got something lined up with the Olsen and his boys. But what can we look forward to coming up for Velocity Gaming?
We got I'll let one of the boys speak. We got a challenge we're going to try attempt. That's why I say try. If you see what happened to Mossy in the off season, Mossy Mosso here, we just want to raise some funds for him and his family and all that. So that's another big thing. We're passionate helping one of the brothers out. There was nothing in the tackle bad. Tragedy what happened, but anything we can do to help, that's what we're doing. And I think we're going to try do a stream for 24 hours.
Yep.
Different things, and I think Sue was probably the only one. 4 hours, but try our best and go from there. We just don't have a date yet and stuff like that. Take over, T. It's lagging.
Yeah, tell him to.
Nah, so we're just working on it. We're early stages. We just came up with it. What, yesterday or last couple of days?
Yesterday. It was yesterday.
Yeah, like doing a 24-hour gaming sesh, and try and raise some funds for we're thinking that raise funds for charity and whatnot for Moss. But yeah, I actually spoke to him yesterday. He's doing pretty good. He can message with his thumbs now. That was crack up.
That's
He
awesome.
just I used to before the what's this called, lockdown happened. I was trying to go in and see him every week, once a week, but I got to the point where I was going to see him from for my own self. Like I'd leave that place feeling so grateful and happy, and he just put a lot of things in perspective. Just seeing his attitude towards his injury.
Yeah.
And then he replied to one of my stories on Instagram. I went, "Hey, have you can you use your hands now?" He goes, "Oh, I can just type with my thumb." I go, "Oh, not too much porn, eh?" And he goes, "Oh, if only my hands worked." And I was like, I just started laughing. But just to see him, man, like his attitude towards his injury and just puts everything to perspective. But yeah, so we thought we'd just try and raise funds for him and his family.
Oh, that's awesome. When you guys get into the 24-hour, Unknown and I can come keep you guys company in your night shift as well if you need it. So we'll keep an eye out for that as
probably
well.
look for a few challenges. So I'll probably hit up Hopper Gaming, maybe take him on. We'll go with you, bring your squad as well.
Yeah, no, sure. You want the real smoke? Jokes.
Yeah, because there's 8 of us, Ben will be on the bench.
Coach.
Yeah,
Me and you
usual
two.
cut the oranges and whatnot.
I want to be a coach too, all good. But that's pretty much us. Obviously, thank you again for giving us time out of your day. I think it worked out perfectly with us having today off work. Just catching you guys at the right time. It's a bit
Government
difficult. Saddest ones. Back to work tomorrow. But no, appreciate you guys coming through. I wish.
Unknown, how long are you growing your mullet for?
How long have I been growing it for?
Yeah, both. How long plan on to as well?
I'll keep it as long as I keep the front happy. The wifey reckons as long as the front looks neat, then
That's a while. It's been going on for a while.
yeah. So it first started last year. We were around this time, and there's like a Fortnite character with a mullet in us. Yeah, bro, that's my character. I'll probably grow my hair like him, and then all the boys are like, you won't pussy, and then yeah, here we go. Freaking half of it's blonde and the rest is history. Oh, I'm gutted you cut yours, man.
No, I haven't yet. It's
Just your
probably
boys,
come from
eh?
this challenge. Yeah, everyone cut theirs. And they put it.
Oh, did they cut theirs?
Don't you do it? Yeah, no, just cut me. But
No, Andrew and it.
yeah.
Oh, yours. Did he?
Andrew's
I'm
not
the last one.
regrowing
They
his one,
wouldn't let me cut it. Yeah. Now they're all regrowing it. They're saying leave it. Nah, mate. I'm done.
It's true.
Oh, yeah, only because the
Well,
last
it's
game,
proper.
our last game we played, I almost swallowed it. I swear, I almost choked on it, man. Running back to the D line.
Hungry us.
Oh.
No.
Might have to tie it up.
No, I did at half time.
Oh, jeez. All right. What's your streaming schedule, boys?
Monday, Wednesday.
Monday, Wednesday.
The visa gets signed there. Maybe.
My business, mate. I'm citizen.
Oh, cool. And it's just Obi and Sua their stream?
Yeah.
At the
Oh,
moment,
I'm
yeah.
trying to get a camera.
Moment, yeah.
Nice.
I'm still waiting in the eBay because everything closed. So, hopefully my camera comes in the next couple of days.
Mm.
But I'll just stream for now, and like when the days that we don't stream, I'll jump on. I'm usually on every night, putting in the hours, to put in the hard work and get the rewards.
Flat there.
I'm close getting the full camo one. But,
Oh, true.
just got the launcher left. Yeah, just got the launcher left.
That's when the mental battles.
That's a lot of grinding if you've just got the launcher left, eh?
Yeah, or like when we always play, I think I was telling T this. Usually everyone just plays with their same gun.
Yeah.
I'm always playing
mix
with a
it up.
different gun, so I'm always taking off a camera. So it's not just wasted. Yeah, so all this time we've been playing, I'm always just playing with different guns. So it's really hard. I didn't really have a gun, an actual gun that I usually play with.
Yeah.
That's how I got it.
Excuses.
Yeah, so I can just give me any gun, and I just adapt like that. And not much people can have the bonus for that.
It's a little bit of harm.
You get bored.
Got to keep it harm, dude.
Kalaula, boys.
Nice. Where can we find you guys on your socials?
Yeah, Team Velocity group.
Oh, yeah.
No, what? Fuck.
Fuck.
Keep cutting out, man.
Did you pay your phone?
Velocity pays you.
Shouldn't have spawned too much, man. I didn't the spawn.
Is it working on loudspeaker or what?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
like
good.
that.
You're good.
It's like you're talking on the phone now. Oh, quick shout out to Bopper Gaming, eh? Just let them know that we're up 1-0. Whenever you want your rematch, mate, on our terms, all right? So don't come hunting for it. We'll let you know, all right? Our server as well. We dominated the server. Now, mates, come to the jungle.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us. Bandit.
Yeah, thanks for coming
No
on.
doubt.
mate.
Keep up the good work as well.
Yeah, it's good what you're doing, Buzz. Keep up the work. Branching out.
Awesome. Thanks, boys. All right, guys. We'll
quick shout out to Bill Tupou for.
Oh yeah, hard out.
Is he on?
Got on fire, man.
He's here. He's just not talking.
Oh, I was gonna say, where's Billa?
Nah, he's not. I was checking.
Billa's not on.
Actually,
He's usually, like AB mentioned before, he's usually the late impact man that comes on just before the half time.
If you're on tonight,
Comes on late, he'll be on soon.
just to bring it home for the boys, eh?
Yeah.
That's when his missus goes to sleep, that's why. Yeah.
One day we forgot to forget, but mention the part of the velocity.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Impact. Can't forget the impact.
Shout out to Boo and APUC. couldn't join us today.
Hey, Peke.
Yeah.
Hey.
Awesome. Cool. We'll wrap it up there.
Shout out,
Thanks, boys.
Sweet, all.
The drummers.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, bro.